Testing, testing, testing. All right, here we go. Greetings, everybody. This is King Bob coming at you live from King Bob's Kingdom. We're going to do a Tuesday afternoon flight in Flight Sim 2024 in the new iFly 737 MAX 8, which is in experimental stages in 2024, but I find it works well. Only a couple little issues, but nothing that detracts from my enjoyment of it. Today's flight is going to take us from Vancouver to Calgary, about 58 minutes, about an hour or so flight time. So let's get going, huh? All right. So here's our beautiful Air Canada Boeing 737 MAX 8, and she's a beaut. iFly knocked it out of the park with this one. A gorgeous plane. Matter of fact, take a look around at it. Looking good, looking good. Engines look cool, wings look great. Tires look fine. That rear door seems okay. This isn't a true walk around. I'm just goofing off, but hey, if you can't have fun, then what's the point? I do think the detail on this plane is really nice. Engines look cool. Yeah, it's fine. So let's get in the cockpit, get this show on the road. Okay, so we're gonna go through my flow. My flow probably has nothing to do with real life flow, but it's how I learned it. It's how I'll get this bird up into the air and safely back down on the ground again. So battery can come on. And I already missed a step. Over in the system page. Sim menu. I just want to check something while I'm at it. We're going to do US system even though we're flying in Canada, because that's how I roll. Ground support. Let's get the chocks placed and external power connected. Oh, you know what? I gotta hit set. And we should see it. Yep, there it is. There is the power cable going into the jet. Okay, cool. All right. Good enough for that. So let's go back up top. Let's get ground power on. Cabin utility, come on. IFE passenger seat can come on. My seat belts are going to go to auto. I like turning on the aft left fuel pump for APU. Window heats can all come on. Emergency exit lights can come on. Position strobe is steady. Logo lights on. Okay, let's get the APO going while we're at it. That fire up. Back over to the, or down to the, this isn't called the McDo. I forget what it's called in Boeing terminology, but we're going to use the term McDo, so sue me if that's not right. Pause in it. Oh! Got a step here. Nadir's to nav. Now we can go back down and grab our position. Like so. Request the route. Load. Wait for it to load up. While it's doing that, I'm going to pull up the EFB and check our SimBrief flight plan. And we are Air Canada Flight 216, so let's put that in, ACA 216. Vancouver, Calgary. Activate and execute. Always execute in a Boeing. Perfect. You can see on our SimBrief flight plan here, looks like we've got a airtime about 58 minutes. Roll this over to the side because we're going to go take care of some stuff in the EFB. Performance and payload. Weight and balance. And how many passengers today? 112. 112. Looks good. Cargo, we are 49.28, so we'll split it this way. 49. We'll do 29.28 here. No. Sorry. I'm bad with math. Let me calculate half of that. 49.28. $24.64. Close enough. $24.64. $24.63, since technically we're doing 49.28. Okay, that looks good. So we're going to set the payload. Click done on that. Fuel this puppy up. Our block fuel today is 10,935, so we'll say 11,000 pounds. That fuel complete. And that'll get us going until we need some performance information, which will be coming right now. You right click, then left click, and that will input your data here. Same with zero fuel weight, even though it's already put it in there in reserves. What do they have us for reserves? Almost 2,000, so let's do, we'll do 2.0. We'll give us a little bit extra. So. Okay. The average cruise wind is 263.041. I don't typically fill in the rest of the stuff. I don't know if it's 100% necessary, but again, it works. You can execute that. Now, let's go over to our EFB. Copy the FMC data. There. We're taking off on runway 8 right. Is that correct? Let me just double check that. Yep, 8 right. Conditions are dry. Laps 5. AC will be on. Anti-ice will be off. Calculate that. the outside air temperature is, oops, what did we say that was? 53. Five, 3. We take off, we'll do a D-rated climb, that's fine. Flaps are 5. Right click to get center of gravity, 21.4. Left click to input it. Then it also, you heard the sound, that's setting the trim. And this wanted 130, 32, 44. Close enough. We'll accept all those. Beautiful. Go to our departure and arrival page. We are flying or taking off on runway 8 right. No SID. Like, you got that right? No, sorry, it looks that way. Okay, so we'll go back. We're going to arrive into Calgary on 35 right. 35 right there. ILS. Beauteous. And star is IGVEP 7. So, do we have any transit? No, we have, we can throw NORAD in there also, and there's no transition. So we can execute that. Okay, we can close this down. Let's go to the legs page. Let's take a look. See if this makes sense. Clear that. Okay, so there's our first waypoint. What do we got? Some vectors in here? Looks like we do. Okay, that's fine. I think we're going to get a vectored into 35 right. Not an issue. We can handle that, can't we? If there's anybody out there, I hope you trust me. Okay. Take it off the plan. Bring my range back down to 10 because that's what I like. E2's 144, so I think I may have this wrong, but we're going to set it anyways. We're going to set our initial speed at 144 here. Heading. Let's go take a look at some charts. Terminal charts. Like that. Heading on runway AR, which is down here, which is 83 degrees. But our initial heading is 83. So, what was our altitude we're flying at today? 37,000. Flight level 370. So let's roll this up to 37,000. No ATC today. No traffic, though we are going to use the default 2024. Perfect. All right. Arm the auto throttles. Flight directors can come on. Our course, we can fill that in as we get closer toward our destination. Now, we should be able to click on VNAV, but LNAV's not going to allow us to arm yet just because something to do with the distance. I haven't figured that quite out yet, but it's not a big deal. Right? Right. Okay. All that looks good. Let's go back up top. Looks like our APU is ready to roll, so let's fire that up. Oop. Get the bleed going. Get some air conditioning going in the back. We'll turn the rest of our fuel pumps on, or probe heat can come on. Hydraulic pumps for electric 1 and 2 can come on. Again, I don't know if this is 100%, but it's my flow. So back over to here. We're going to get rid of the nose gear and disconnect the electric, like so. Turn it off, even though it's basically saying, hey, you're not on anyways, which is cool. That looks like we're good to go there. Look at that, Master Caution. Here's one of the bugs you can see right here. This is not in focus, I guess you could say. It'll blur out. Probably an LOD issue or something like that. Hopefully they fix it. These are the landing gear indicator. And it's getting a little bit clearer there, but it'll eventually blur out. Okay, all that looks good. So let's set our transponder. Should be off right now. Auto. That looks fine. I think we're ready for pushback. Look at my chart. You know what we're going to do? We're going to set up Calgary while we're in here. Approach into 8. No, 35. 35R? I don't get old, I'll tell you. Yeah, 35 right. Bingo. That looks good. WYYC, that's Calgary. We don't want that. Okay, so we're going to be... I don't know why the plane doesn't show up on here, but we're going to basically be going somewhere over here. I think we'll be taking taxiway Lima to 8 right. Good to go. Okay. Okay, let's call for pushback. With the help of GSX. Let's see if it works today. Turn my beacons on. There we go. Looks like we're getting some ooh, look at that texture out there. Wonder what airline that is. You know, one thing I want to check just to make sure. New livery, so sometimes it doesn't stick, and they are so far. Let's check out the most important, the Bravo Throttle quadrant. That is default. That is default. Good to go. Okay, so now we're getting ready to push back. Oh, you know what we should have checked? Wrong airport. $29.93. That's way off. That right. Yeah, we're gonna trust it. Okay, so we're going to want nose to the right. Parking brakes are released. Up top. Do engine 1 first. Over to ground. Oh. Axe need to come off. Wait till we hit about 20% on N2 here. There. Introduce fuel. Did I taxi back right? Yeah, I did. Right. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. And that engine's getting ready to kick off. I love the sound of this thing. Still beans. Let's see, wait for it to click over, which it did, over to our engine 2 round. Wait for 20%. Bingo. Introduce fuel. Brakes are set. Wings are already flapping. Check that out. Okay. Back into the flight deck. Looking good. That can come back to both. Transfer power over to the engines. Turn off APU. Turn off bleed. Packs back on. Turn off the APU. Isolation valve to auto. And I believe looking good up top here. Taxi lights can come on. Runway turn-off lights can come on. My SOP. Flaps will come down to 5. They did a good job with the sounds of this plane, that's for sure. Then again, if it's truly realistic, who knows? The sore spot for everybody, it seems. Everybody always has issues with sound. Perfect. And to the cockpit. Brakes to RTO. Put the program on the second, whatever this is called. Alright, clear all that out. That looks good, that looks good. Set us over to TA. Transponder. Now we can taxi out. Let's see, where are we going? Right there. Lima out. Okay. Down to brakes. Parking brakes are off. Let's test those brakes. Looking good. Okay. A little bit of throttle. Let's rock and roll, people. We are running live weather today. Double check that, make sure. Yes. Pleasant day. I love that livery over there, though. Maybe that should be the new King Bob livery. King Bob's Kingdom livery. Gotta love it. Or not. This airport is by FS Dream Team to Vancouver. We're flying to Calgary, which is also an add-on airport. I don't remember who makes it. I want to say X-Win, but I'm not 100% positive on that. I forgot to turn on my eye tracking, but no big deal. Tweaking my rudder settings to get them a little bit more, not as sensitive. Had them at -4, -3 for sensitivities on both the plus and minus, but I pushed them down to 0.50, and we're going across the runway here. Probably should have checked left or right to see if we were in any danger, but we weren't. Plus ATC would have warned us, right? Right? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I don't, that's for sure. So if you like what I'm doing, maybe give me a like, maybe a sub. I like what I'm doing. I don't think this doesn't look right to me. Let's use the old magic barrow key. It basically says we're below sea level. I don't think that's the case. That looks more like it. 3007. Let's scoot over right here. We don't truly need the full runway. Sounds good, that's for sure. And again, sound is subjective. I love heavy metal. A lot of people just call it noise or sound, but hey, it is what it is. Alright. Have to stop short to hold line. Our landing lights can come on. Strobe to steady. Okay, that all looks good. And I got a cat on my lap. Sorry, Tim. I can't fly a plane with a cat in my lap. Okay. Nobody landing, nobody taking off. Runway is ours. We could do some fake ATC, huh? Yeah. Line it up. Looks good. Pretty strong wind. Okay, and it's coming from our right a little bit. Not bad. Okay, so procedure for taking off. Spool the throttles to 50%. TARA. So forward pressure on the yoke. Release the brakes. And toga. And just steer down the runway. Try to maintain center line as best as possible.
V1.
There's rotate. Positive rate, gear can come up. So cool. And fly it a little bit here. Flaps can come up. Flip LNAV on. Follow our flight directors. And we could turn on autopilot. Okay. I would just sit back and relax. Enjoy the flight. One of those mountains out in the distance is Grouse Mountain, which I've been up. And that's city of Vancouver down there. Grouse Mountain's cool. I had one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had in my life at the top of Grouse Mountain. Take a, you know, not a tram. Like a ski lifty, I guess it is a tram, up to the top, and they had a big barbecue up there. Fantastic. Ah, I love this. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh, I wonder where that road goes to the top of over there. When we went to British Columbia, we stayed somewhere down over here. We stayed outside of Vancouver proper. Back in the distance out toward Whistler, and that distance over there, there's we took a plane to the top of a glacier. Very cool. All right, let's pay attention to flying now. So our course for 777 or 77. Coming up through 10,000. We'll run through our 10,000 with checks. Up top, landing lights can come off, taxi lights can come off. We'll turn the seat belts off. And the auto brakes can come off. Up, up, and away we go. That's kind of looking south, back over toward Washington State, Seattle, way in the distance. Our top of climb, about 80 miles away. A little bit of chop up here, not much. All right, let's start thinking about some things over here. Our course 345 for the ILS, so let's go ahead and roll that in on the captain's side and the first officer side. And the ILS frequency is 110.75. Get that up while we're at it. Swap over to it. Probably way too early, but Again, this is King Bob Kingdom's SOP. Okay. Looking good. Coming up through 18,000, so we can go ahead and switch over to standard. Do a flaps 40 landing. Coming up through a flight level 200, or 20,000 feet, as they say. Again, once more, this is King Bob coming live at you from King Bob's Kingdom. We are on our way from Vancouver to Calgary on this wonderful day for flying, and flying high, as Ozzy said. Flying high again. Well, won't you join me? So if anybody's out there, hello, welcome, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Hopefully you all having a wonderful day. I know I am. Always a good day when you can fly. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Coming through some of these low clouds here. I'm just curious why that was wrong. Weren't even close to being right. Pull up the charts, see what that said. Oh. What the heck is Vancouver? CYVR. Mistake on my part. Gotcha. What were they saying for weather? Yeah, 3307. Okay, 3007. Yeah, okay. Duh. Pilot error. I had pilot error the other day. Coming in for a beautiful landing into, where the heck was I? San Diego. Practicing RNAV, and disconnect autopilot. I usually disconnect the auto throttle there. Well, instead of disconnecting auto throttle, I accidentally hit toga. I was wondering why the plane was speeding up like a bat out of hell, as Meatloaf once said. Did a go around, came back in and landed it fine, but pilot error. So yes, it can happen. Now again, I'm not a real pilot, but you know, I'm sure if I had a first officer sitting next to me, maybe he would have picked it up. So who knows? And I am eagerly awaiting chase plane just for some of these reviews. or what it can bring to the game. Just about up at top of climb. Well, not quite. 40 miles to top of climb. Coming up through flight level 300, or as they say, 30,000. Sorry, just had a drink of water. Hopefully nobody heard that. If there's anybody out there. Somebody, please. Say something in the chat. Anybody? No? Okay, no big deal. I like to lurk too. Ooh, a little rocky. I have to remember to record the the replay so I could play it back, because I like seeing that myself. So we should be paying attention. Our heading, roll it down to what we're on, 6-7, like so. Coming up to flight level 310, up to flight level 370. Top of descent's about 100, a little over 160 miles away. Nice scenery out there. We'll hold that view for a bit. We got some time. Got nothing but time. So if anybody is interested, the iFly 737 MAX 8, even though it's an experimental status, it does work for 2024. I think a couple things that, look at that, little chop up here. A couple things that don't work for sure are the RASS system and the airport maps. And like I said, we saw, dang, this thing is going, some chop up here like crazy. Woof. What in holy hell? What? I'll throw those seatbelt signs back on so that smooths out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain coming at you from the flight deck, actually. Got sorry about that. Got some moderate chop up here, as you've seen, some turbulence. I'm going to turn the seatbelt sign on for a little bit, so please get back to your seats and buckle up. Oops. Hopefully I don't get censored, get canceled. There's nothing really to cancel anyway, so who cares? There we go. Is there a weather radar here, and does it work? There is. Oh. You know what? I just thought of something. Let's set up my fix rings here. Oh. CYYC. And I like doing a 10-mile and a 5. like so. And reasonings for that is at 10 miles, I like to be flaps 1, then 5. 5 miles, gear down, flap 15. Then out to my final flaps gives me a little point of reference, basically. I think that beeping sound was basically telling us we're coming up on, yep, we're within 1,000 feet of our cruising altitude, and the chop has subsided, so we will turn the seatbelts back off. That's one thing. I think there's a setting too, because if you go back into the cabin, people will raise their blinds, lower their blinds. It's great until you try to get a view and like that, and you see, hey, the dopey-doo in this seat decided to lower the blind. Okay, we are up at our cruising altitude of 370, our flight level 370, 37,000 feet. For everybody else out there. Motoring. Air Canada. Nice livery. Black and red and white. Okay, since we're at top of climb, let's look to see what we got here. Looks like 6,500 is what we're going to want to descend down to. We'll set that. So, for decision. Let's see, this is what I don't get yet. So which one should it be? I'm going to say 200 feet above, we will use this one, 3777. That's going to take 3,000 years to that in here. Oh, we'll try. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Why is it not spinning? There we go. Oh, set our barrel for 3777. Thank goodness for acceleration. I hate that. Stop. 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 Oh my goodness. You know what? I really need some hardware to do all this. I'm getting there, close. 65, 70, and 77. Perfect. Okay. Cool beans. Looks good. Roll this over to 6.8. Top of descent about... Not about, it's 119 nautical miles. Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go into here. System page, back, panel style, miscellaneous. Have all the visors open. That way they won't close them back there on me. And we will adjust our heading to 4.8 or 4.7. Constant battle in the Boeing, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. And once again, if anybody's out there, I'm King Bob from King Bob's Kingdom. Flying today from Vancouver to Calgary. Air Canada flight. We say 216. I believe that's it. Nice little lake down there, huh? What is the weather in Calgary? CYYV. Oh, looks nice. The winds from 90 at 4 knots. Temperature 20. 996. And I don't think wind should be an issue on this landing, so thank goodness. Well, it's about time. The weather's actually starting to clear up here in my current location. Had some rainy, misty type weather. Been pretty yucky out, but I think summer's finally going to hit. Going to be back up into the 80s and possible 90s into the weekend, into early next week. Yay, which I love. I love the heat. I hate the cold. So last few days since the weekend's been kind of dreary out and on and off rain, and hopefully it's better where you all are. And my landline's ringing off the hook in there. I can't believe actually anybody's actually using it. Excuse me. Yeah, we still have a landline. Oh, look, an email. My bill detail notification. Yeah, let me open that up and pay that. Yeah, goodbye. Coming up on 80 nautical miles to top of descent. Let's just check out our chart here. 110.75. Set that. We did. ILS 110.75. We're set. So our barrow is set 3777. Our course 345. 345 looks good. So that's all cool. So it's up there anyways. 110.75 and course 345. We've set our landing config flaps 40. VREF will be 133. So I always add +5. So 138 will be the landing speed. Excuse me for burping. Woo! Thanks too. And I have a cat looking at me. What's up, Clance? Clancy. Squeaks, as he's known as. Gorgeous out there. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Into Canada we fly. On Air Canada. I may do, I may go all the way across Canada. I got airports all the way out till, Halifax, I guess. So we could kind of probably go from here. What's next? Wouldn't be Toronto. There's something in between here and Toronto. Ooh, it's getting choppy out there again. Damn. Holy moly. Seat belts are coming back on, people. Get your captain from the flight deck. Return to your seats immediately. We got some heavy chop up here. Don't want you spilling your drinks. Again, it's your captain. I think. And she's searching. The wind's doing that? The winds aren't all that strong. I mean, they are, but... Good turbo here. Oh, I think... You know what? I think I know why. I'll check it at the end of the flight. I think I know why that is the case. I don't like choppy flights. I like smooth flights. Real life and in the sim. Choppy flights are... choppy. Full of turbulence. Makes people uneasy. I'm not really truly afraid of it, but it does make other people around you uneasy. But it is what it is. See what it looks like outside. Looking good, looking good. Look at that scenery down there. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but 2024 looks so cartoony.
Yeah, right. I'll show you cartoony. A few people that believe that. Sorry, I'm 2024 all the way. Have been since December. I uninstalled 20 and basically have flown nothing but 2024 since probably mid-December, I guess. Maybe it was a little bit, maybe it was early December. I don't even remember. Phoenix was always there pretty much for me, so it was a good one to fly. And now we got 7.3s and 7.7s and tons of GA stuff. There is zero reason for anybody to be flying 2020 at this point, unless there's a particular plane that just you can't make work in 2024. Again, PMDG's, their 7.3s are not, but again, that's my opinion. You fly what you like. If it's 2024, who cares? I just don't see why you would continue to fly 2020, but hey, it is what it is. A few streamers out there still only exclusively 2020. Alpha descent's coming up, 40 miles out. Howdy, anybody and everyone out there today. Hopefully you are all having a wonderful day. If you like what I'm doing, or if you don't like what I'm doing, give me a like anyways, or you know, maybe sub, or don't sub, or I don't know, unsubscribe. Your choice, no biggie. I'm not looking to make money off this. I'm just looking to have fun. Share my love of flight simming with the world. I haven't tried the iFly out with sim rate. I believe there's options for it, and I guess on longer flights that would be great. I would love to do which I'm going to do anyway, so like a flight from Seattle down to, or maybe Seattle up to Anchorage. I saw somebody do it the other day. Was it Blue? I don't remember. Maybe Blue Game. Somebody did that flight. I'd like to do that. I've never flown anything Alaska. Particularly because it seems like they fly a lot of Boeing 737 stuff, and I didn't really have a 737 in here till iFly came out. I mean, the default 737 stuff, that's pretty garbage. Default DeSobo stuff. Though the default AnyBuild stuff is pretty good. The 330 is a decent plane in 2024. The 320 and their version 2, it's meh. Phoenix is your better bet. Maybe even fly-by-wire. I like the fly-by-wire. I like the Phoenix. I like everything. That's my problem. I fly too much. I mean too much. What I mean by that is I know a lot of people that just, you know, concentrate on one over the other, whether it's Boeing or Airbus. And I'll go through phases. Like I'll fly the CYVR 730 for my next however many flights, and then I'll go back and fly the Phoenix and sprinkle in some GA stuff like the 828 Comanche, wonderful plane. Looking forward to the Tomahawk, which I got to. I just came out with a 2024 version. I got to download and install that. Get used to that again. My favorite GA plane of all time is the WSIM C152. Which is what I cut my teeth on. Back then it was JP Logistics. That's what I cut my teeth on in flight sim. Basically learned via that, and then stepped up to the big boys. Probably the first one was the fly-by-wire. The Neo. 380 is excellent too. That's another good plane. That's just had a lot of updates too. I haven't flown that one in a bit. Haven't been in any bus in a bit, to be honest with you. I haven't flown any buses. But, like I said, that will change. Alright, top of descent. What, coming up. We shall be heading down soon. And it's smoothed out again, so the seat belts can come back off. That's some beautiful country out there. Beautiful parts of North America, Canada, specifically. Don't know what province we're over. You know what? We can find out. Looks like we're still over British Columbia as we're heading to Calgary. I use, by the way, Elevitix. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's my tracking software. Great program. I should do a video on it. And so it looks like we're still over, like I said, British Columbia. See, here's the border going into... What province is it? Alberta. Yeah, so I could fly from Calgary. Winnipeg, we could do that segment. And then Winnipeg over to YYZ, and then YYZ over to Halifax. And we are starting to head down. Not what I wanted to press, that's what I want to press. Keep an eye on our speed as we start to descend. Tell me we need some drag. Let's throw out some speed brakes. check out the weather again in 29.96 once we get down below here. Weather hasn't really changed much, so that's good. Go home. Get that speed better under control here with some speed brakes. Wants to be a 236, so it's trying to get down there. We're also descending at about 19, almost 2,000 feet a minute. Or a second. A minute, a second, it's all the same. I could stow the speed brakes for the time being. It is a bumpy ride up here. Man, look at those mountains down there. It's absolutely gorgeous. All right. Sorry about that. I was having some issues with my trying to find the mute because I wanted to take a big sip of water and I didn't want everybody out there to hear it. So I just sent it back down through 30,000. It's a long way to the ground. And again, if there's anybody out there, did anybody hear me? Is anybody there? King Bob, King Bob's Kingdom. Flight today is from Vancouver to Calgary. Oh yeah, and I'm using, trying out the Elevitex streamer bar overlay thingy. After the stream, I'll take a look to see what that looks like. Hopefully it's pretty cool. Hopefully it gives all the relevant information. She's shaking up a storm. You know what it is? Forgot. Probably what it is. Real turb. I'll turn it off. I think it accentuates the turbulence way too much. Makes it worse than it really is. You see, we got a little bit of rocking and rolling going on here, but I think real turb makes it way worse. Keep up with setting the heading. Constant battle you're fighting in the Boeing. It's basically for you. That way, if you do get vectored, you know, you're at least close to, or if you come off and do like heading select, you're at least close to the direction you're flying in. So in other words, basically, if for some reason I wasn't paying attention to this and I decided to go heading select at 5.8 and I want to keep that course, or actually 5.7, for some reason I wasn't keeping this up and this was pointing toward, you know, I don't know, 330, let's say. As soon as I click heading select here, the plane's gonna head to 330. So it's up to you to keep this in line so you don't have that happen. Or unless you want that to happen, but I wouldn't want it to happen. Oh, look at that lake down there. Nestled in that valley. That is so cool. It looks like what we'll probably do is we'll vector ourselves, or maybe just do a direct right to Tazboo from dip 2. Maybe we'll just roll in some headings and vector ourselves. We'll see. We'll see what the mood brings. Of course, we can continue to fly the magenta line if you want, but obviously it's not going to take us to Calgary if that's the case, but maybe that's what you want to do. Have at it. After all, we're apparently all children of the magenta line, so I just like getting in a G8 plane like the 152. No GPS. Navigate VORs, or old school. Use your eyes. Oh, you're not up in cloud, you should be fine. VFR flying. Love it. Coming down through 22.7. Level 227. Get a little bit fast, telling me we need a little bit more drag. Out come those speed brakes. I haven't tried those views yet. Okay. Speed's back under control. So those speed brakes. Handling nicely. Let's see where we're at. Looks like we're just about ready to cross into Alberta. We got some weather out here, it looks like. And some turbulence going on now. Not bad, but it's there. Wings are flexing like nuts. Or at least one side. That's funny. I wonder if that's a bug. Coming back down through close to 18,000, so let's get our weather. Refresh. Hasn't really changed. 2996. Perfect. Pre-select it. We can. I love that. So I can. I love that feature. You can pre-select the altitude, the barrow. You can see standard is what it's on right now, but we've pre-selected 2996, and as soon as we click STD, we'll flip right over to 2996. We don't have to tweak it. Oh, I forgot to start the chrono. Stupid me. But there was an elapsed time here. I wonder if this is... I wonder if it does it automatically. Let's ask the clock. You know, we'll start it up anyways. Okay, we're below 18,000, so let's switch us over to 2996. Set our auto brakes to 2. Get stuff done early. Probably way too early to set that, but hey, that's what we like to do here. And we wait till we get below 10,000 to complete the our below 10,000 feet tasks. Landing lights come on. Seat belts back to on. For me, it's going to be runway taxi lights will also come on, and I will only put the taxi light on after I've gotten clearance to land. And in this case, since we're not running ATC, I'll just wait until gears down about 5 miles out. But I do have to tweak my Honeycomb BRAVO because I'm using a throttle set from ProDesk Sim, and I have yet to find the proper sensitivities to make the flap detents work where they should. In other words, when I put it in 5, it'll actually be 10. When I put it in 30, it'll be 40, so I'll be cognizant of that. But I think I know what I have to do to tweak it. Basically up in here. What was that? That sounded like thunder. Anything on the weather radar? Does this even work? Is that the weather radar? I think it is. There it is again. I think there's thunder out there. No drag required to slow us down. I'm gonna have to replay that. It definitely sounded like thunder in the distance. Oh, cool. Look at those peaks back there. Okay, back up here. Let's pay attention to what we're doing here. So we're rolling out on 3-2, so let's set that. We are going to want to basically, here's our last waypoint, so once we get to here we will, we'll just do a direct 2. Or probably work, or I could vector us in. I definitely heard thunder back there someplace, I just don't know where. Maybe it was coming up over those mountains, which kind of makes sense in real life. That's where you get a lot of thunderstorms. I've been I've been in New Hampshire out hiking and in the valley, perfect weather, and you get up to elevation, you get clouds rolling in. There's a good chance you could have a pop-up thunderstorm during the summertime. Not fun, but it happens. Hey, it is a tad bit choppy out here. Almost down to 10,000. Okay. So, IRF for the 35 right ILS. Do we see that in the display? Yes, we do. IRF, perfect. And the heading is, or the course is correct, 345. Okay, we're at 10,000, so our landing lights can come on. Runway turn-off lights can come on. Seatbelts can come back on for the duration of the flight. Unable next altitude. Okay, no worries. Beautiful Alberta down there. Like we're going to roll back out right around 78 or so. 79. Close. Or is she going to settle back to 78? Speed's looking good. Liking what I'm seeing so far, so welcome to anybody and everybody that's out there. It's King Bob, King Bob's Kingdom. Getting ready to come down, land down into Calgary. Flew from Vancouver earlier today, and our destination is Calgary. In the beautiful province of Alberta, Canada. Oh, Canada. There we go. We're hitting dial up because we're coming close to the end of the line here when it comes to waypoints. We do I think a direct will work fine. I'm gonna start taking over the speed here, so let's speed intervention. We'll go down to up speed. Perfect. Bending nicely. All right, let's take over. Oh, wrong one. It's supposed to be pilot error. Let's do something like that. That'll work perfectly, actually. Look at the racetrack down there. Buildings in the distance. I wonder if that's downtown Calgary. Could be. Could be, could be, could be. Who knows? Starting to descend a little bit more now. Like our target altitude 6,500, so a little less than 2,000 feet from that. All right, let's do a direct to Tabsu. So directing a Boeing is as easy as this. You click your waypoint, add it to that location, and oh, you know what we wanted to do? We wanted to go to the vector. And we'll put it on LNAV again. Let the plane take over. Highway down there. Yeah, we started that direct to just a tad bit too late. Okay, make it happen. So my SOP here is basically by that 10-mile fixturing right here. I want to be at least at flaps 5. That warning sign to say, hey, you're within 1,000 of your selected altitude. So by 10 nautical miles out, we want to be at flaps 5. So I'll dump flap 1 here soon. Roll my speed down to 1. To the flaps 1 speed, and then flaps 5 by 10, and roll that to the flaps 5 speed. And from there, we will wait till the 5-mile mark. At the 5-mile mark, I like to be gear down, flaps 15. Once my gear's down to my final landing flaps 40, and start rolling our speed back to VREF plus 5, which will be 133 plus 5, which is, you know, I'm bad at math, 138 still. Yeah, that looks like downtown Calgary directly in front of us. Looks like the airport is where? Out there. Okay. Bring it on home to mama. Alright, we set up top here. Yep, all that looks good. Cool. Course should be 345 on final here, so. Okay, flaps 1. Roll it down to flaps 1 speed. Pump it down to flaps 5, but I have a feeling it's going to go right to flaps 10, isn't it? I got to tweak that. That's not a big deal. We can roll it down to flaps 10 speed. It is, so let's roll it down to flaps 10 speed, like so. We could turn approach mode on. Got some diamonds. Diamonds look good. LOC. Both are captured. Perfect. LOC and glide slope. Yeah, there's downtown Calgary. Can't see it from there, but out there. Okay, time to get real. I'm gonna bring this plane on home to mama.
2,500.
Glide slope is captured, so what is our go around? 4,100. That. It's choppy. Okay, we are cleared to land, so we are going to turn our taxi lights on. Down can come the gear. Drop our flaps down to 15. We'll start rolling speed off. Our VREF up plus 5. 138. Like so. Flaps full. Good to go. Little bit of a crosswind, not bad though.
1,000.
Autopilot off, my plane. Okay.
$500.
We're high, we gotta get down.
400.
Don't worry, look at the wind change. Now all of a sudden we got a tailwind.
300. Approaching minimums.
Landing.
200.
Oop.
Minimums.
Landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
And we're floating.
10.
Woo! That was a horrible landing. I don't think that one was legal in the least bit. Yeah, well. Too much backstick. Little float, little balloon. All of a sudden, we had a tailwind. Crazy. It is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Oilers could come up. We will stop right here. Oh, I didn't do the replay. Jeez Louise. I had a brain. Click the terminals over there so we can take. There's it right here. Darn it, I wanted to do the replay. Start up the APU. Why the heck when I turn... It's never done that before. Disengaging auto throttle and it's pulling up the EFB. Distracted me there for a second. Got the key combination for that. Tab. So why is that? That shouldn't be mapped to tab. Interesting. Oh well, what can you do? We got it down. I don't think it was a legal landing. I got no way to go back and prove it or disprove it, short of the looking at the replay after the, or watching the stream after the fact. But we were floating, we were ballooning. Woo! One ride. Hey, we got it down now. Let's go park next to that big unmarked MD-10 over there. We got room for our ass. Let's see. No, they don't. Okay, let's park it on this side of the airport. Cool little flight. Wasn't pleased with the landing, but too much floaty stuff. Gotta aim for those captain bars. And everybody wants super smooth landings, but super smooth landings come at the cost of, you know, super long. That's not the safest way to do it. Man, is there any free gates? There's one right there, huh? Gate's at. $88A. Let's see if it's in the GSX playbook here. Of course not. Oh, you know what? Probably going to be here. 88A. There we go. Take that one. Oh! I should have took Air Canada. Oh well, what can you do? Okay, welcome to Calgary. See if we can at least do a good, decent parking job, huh? Like I'm coming in hot. Take that. Parking brakes on. If you can come on. All this should have been off. Blinding people at the terminal there. Seat belts can come off. We could request, so we could shut the engines down. The APU is running. We can request deboarding. He gave me a little bow. Thank you. I haven't gotten a dance in a long time. Be nice to get a dance. And now here we are in beautiful Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Well, that was fun. Another successful flight by King Bob. Let's check out what it actually was. That's not what. Oh, stop. Map. Where'd we land? Where is the... I thought there was a way to show. I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, let's... Oh, yeah. Not legal in the least bit. Here's where we landed. Here was the last... here was the end of the landing zone. Woo, Jimmy. Hey, but no. Look at the landing rate. The landing rate was good, so... That's all anybody really worries about anymore, so... 150, minus 151. But it was way too long. That's not a good landing. But, hey, it is what it is. So, this is King Bob. Hope you had fun. If you like this type of video, give me a like, maybe a sub. And, we'll see you next time. King Bob saying, have a most wonderful rest of your day.